Hey there, Kyle Souza, thetalkinggeek.com. Want to get up close and personal to say, I'm sorry about this glare right here. I can't fix it right now, because I'm not exactly sure what's causing it. It might be aliens. But, that's not what this video is about. This video is about My SCi-Fi Club. This is the second My SCi-Fi Club box that I've gotten. I got their fantasy subscription. They offer a fantasy one, they offer a sci-fi one, they have some sibling or sister or whatever, some other boxes that are books, audiobooks, whatnot. Um, Here we go. Let's see what's inside. The moon, by her comparative proximity and the constant varying appearances produced by her several phases, has always occupied a considerable share of the attention of the inhabitants of Earth. That's from Jules Verne, from one of his books. Jules Verne, Journey to the Center of the Earth, first one that comes to mind. He did a lot of other good ones. I think that was my favorite, though. This My SCi-Fi Club box was personally and carefully packed by this humanoid. Godaxy? I think it's Godaxy. Got a little Star Trek symbol there instead of Marvin. Or Mervin. Alright. Warning, warning. Interested in what's in this month's book selections or about turn the page for your Lost in Space. New Lost in Space series coming to Netflix. May even be there by the time this video comes out. Because it may be there by the time I record this video. I'm not sure when it comes out. It has either come out recently or is coming out soon. Anyways, moving on. Alright, fantasy selections. In the Shadow of Frankenstein, Tales of the Modern Prometheus. And then Celtic Fairy Tales. I have a Celtic Fairy Tales book. I like Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Alright. Let's see. Originally published. I'll read the Frankenstein one. So let's get these out of here so we can actually see the covers. Alright, In the Shadow of Frankenstein, Tales of the Modern Prometheus, edited by Stephen Jones, forward by Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman, American Gods, Norse Mythology, those are two of his books. He did a bunch of comic book series, including the Sandman comics from the Vertigo imprint of DC. Neil Gaiman's a pretty cool guy. Also, some people say he's a wizard. Like, for real. Anyways, let's see. Stephen Jones keeps his severed finger on horror's pulse, contains modern tales from all the usual suspects, plus some pulp classics and 3 complete novels, including Mary Shelley's original. If that doesn't charge up your generators, nothing will. That's from Time Out in London. Top-notch stories, original and reprint from some of the best in the game, by The Dark Side. Another handsome, oversized volume of stories, Science Fiction Chronicle. A superior collection from one of the top editors in the field, Shivers. A full-bodied collection, the Journal of Ghost Story Society. Alright, so that's some good endorsements. I like collections of stories. I have quite a few. So this is it. Let's see what all is exactly in here. In the Shadow of Frankenstein, from Pegasus Books. This one, of course, is for Kim, in Friendship and Admiration. Congratulations, Kim. I've never been in the dedication page of a book. Alright, Forward by Neil Gaiman. Introduction, It's Alive by Stephen Jones. Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus by Mary W. Shelley. A New Life by Ramsey Campbell. The Creator by R. Chetwynd Hayes. Better Dead by Basil Copper. Creature Comforts by Nancy Kilpatrick. Mannequins of Horror, Robert Bloch. El Sueño de la Regón, Daniel Fox. I am sure I am butchering these names and titles. I am sorry. Also, you're welcome. Pithecanthropus Rejectus by Manly Wade Wellman. Sounds like a throwaway Harry Potter spell. Here we go. Tantamount to Murder by Johnny Brunner. Last Train by Guy and Smith. The Hound of Frankenstein by Peter Tremaine. Mother of Invention by Graham Masterson. The Frankenstein Legacy by Adrian Cole. The Deadline by Dennis Etchison. Poppy's Monster by Lisa Morton. Undertow by Carl Edward Wagner. The Complete Woman by Robert Lanes. Last Call for the Sons of Shock, David J. Shaw. Chandiria by Brian Mooney. That name's familiar. Celebrity Frankenstein by Stephen Volk. Completest Heaven by Kim Newman. The Temptation of Dr. Stein by Paul McCauley. Because that's one thing, is Frankenstein isn't the name of the monster. Dr. Frankenstein is the guy that made the monster. The monster doesn't get a name in the novel. Anyways, To Receive is Better by Michael Marshall Smith. The Dead End by David Case. Frankenstein by Joe Fletcher. And then that's it. So this is a hardy. This is over 700 pages. This is exactly the kind of book that I like to pick up at Barnes & Noble. They're usually $20 a book at Barnes & Noble. Not saying that this book is there, but these kinds of books. Let's see, this one $27.95 for this particular book. That's the cover price. I usually wait till they're $10 to $15. Go half off or $10. Thanksgiving's a good time to get books like these, the collected editions, over at Barnes & Noble, which I went like this because for me, Barnes & Noble is that way, which has no bearing on this video. Also, if you were facing a different direction than me, such as if you turned your computer, it would no longer be that way anyways. It's completely irrelevant, Kyle. Stop talking about it. Next book. Now this one, you may, if you listened to my Unboxed podcast about this, then you heard how Ryan Ray got the sci-fi edition of the My SCi-Fi box, or My SCi-Fi Club box, and he did not get one of the books that was on the list. He got a different book. It looks like I have that here because Celtic Fairy Tales, originally published in 1892, this beautifully written collection of Celtic fairy tales is bound to enrapture, filled to the brim with, as Joseph Jacobs says, both the best and the best known folk tales of the Celts. And this is the first of his two collections of Celtic folklore. I have one book of Celtic poetry and fairy tales already. I'd be interested in seeing how this compares, which is interesting because last time I got that French guy, I'm blanking on his name, but it was a lot of Aesop's fables, and I already have at least one book of Aesop's fables, if not two, but I have one of the completed works, which there's over 300 of them. And so it was interesting to compare those two. They're a little different because he interpreted them, and then that got interpreted into English, and he added some extra stuff to it. His Celtic fairy tales will be interesting to see also. I like it when these are old stories. I enjoy fables and fairy tales and that type of thing. So that's pretty exciting, but I did not get that book. I did not. What book did I get? I got Michael J. Sullivan, Book 1 of the Legends of the First Empire, Age of Myth. So Michael J. Sullivan, not the name of the book, that's the author. Age of Myth, pretty sure it's the name of the book, not a person's name. And this book is Book 1 of the Legends of the First Empire, so it's a novel. I have mixed feelings about getting a novel, because if it's a good novel, then that's great. But don't know if it's going to be a good novel or not. So I wish I'd gotten that Celtic Fairy Tales book. But maybe this one will be great. I'll have to read it and let you know. I do book reviews on my YouTube channel, so you can, check out. Oh, look at that with that glare shining on the tree. Looks pretty special. Ooh. Anyways, praise for Michael J. Sullivan. Hair-raising escapes, flashy sword fights, and faithful friendship complete the formula for good old-fashioned escapist fun by Publishers Weekly. That's on his book, The Theft of Swords. Filled with adventure and clever dialogue, and featuring a pair of not-quite heroes whose loyalties to each other provide them with their greatest strength, this epic fantasy showcases the arrival of a master storyteller, by Library Journal, again on Theft of Swords. This one, by Library Journal, about the Rose and the Thorn, with less gore and a smaller cast of characters than George R.R. Martin's Song of Ice and Fire, but equally satisfying, Sullivan's epic fantasy will be gaining fans at exponential rates. That's a pretty good endorsement. I don't read the Game of Thrones books, and I don't watch the TV show because of some of that content there. So something that is maybe a little bit tamer. I mean, I enjoy Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, a lot of other fantasy books. Again, check out my YouTube channel. I've reviewed quite a few. I'm reading more and always reviewing more. And this will get added to that pile of things that I read and review, and I'll let you know. Let's see what cover price for this one was. $35 Canadian. For those of us who aren't in Canada and use real money, just joking, Canada, I love you. $26 is the cover price here. So that's 50 what was that, $53? Is this one 27? 28, so $54. $54 in value here. The box is $10 plus shipping and handling, which brings it to $17, which is pretty cool. But you don't get, or I did not get, a special gift this time. Last time I got a DVD that I thought was kind of weird. This time, well, just it didn't really have a place in the box. Like, it's a fantasy box, and what happened was a fantasy story, but I was expecting high fantasy like this. And even while this is horror, not fantasy, it's still fantastical. So it fits. It fits. I'm not offended. I don't think this is necessarily out of place. But, oh, there is a free book, or a free special item. See, it's 2 books, 2 hardcover books that you get, and then a special item. And this time, special item, your surprise gift, a free ebook every month, Books on the Go, from bookshop.com/My SCi-Fi Club, and I've got a code to enter there. I don't think I showed you guys that. I need to make sure I register it before you do. If you did, I do giveaways on my blog and on my YouTube channel, but I don't want to give this away because I'm also selfish and petty. But again, that's me. Anyways, check out My SCi-Fi Club if you like what you see here. If you like books, they have that sci-fi one. They also have My Thrill Club, Your Audiobook Club, the Young Adult Novel Club, My Coffee and Book Club, My First Reading Club for kids. So a little, and they have more than just those. Those are kind of their big hitters, though, and it's pretty good. I've enjoyed both boxes so far. I'm not disappointed for this. I probably wouldn't buy this Age of Myth book if I saw it off the shelf, but I'm definitely going to read it now. Like I said, if I was willing to spend at least $10 on this Frankenstein book in the store, Age of Myth, $17 for $56 worth of books, and I'm sure these ebooks are going to have some good ones in there too. So it's definitely worth the money, I think, if you just enjoy books and don't mind kind of getting random things. Again, I'm Kyle Souza. My blog is talkinggeek.com, and I am sorry about the glare. Hopefully I'll have it fixed.